flows, it flows.
If it flows, it flows, bro. So
Nonetheless, the flow is yours. Sage, welcome.
yeah,
And you can tell the people who you are, what you do,
right.
and
All right. Right, guys. What is up? Sage here. Sage, CEO, founder, Legacy Africa, also a growth partner in Office Cube, amongst other things. But I like to introduce myself as a chilled guy because that's what I am ultimately. You know, just a cool dude who likes to work with other cool dudes, making some really cool stuff. And what I was actually going to touch base on before we started recording was with Legacy specifically. The purpose is to kind of give opportunity to the people who don't, have opportunity in terms of connection wise and making those and establishing those.
yeah,
Because situations like this are rare. Like this is rare air, bro. And I feel that I'm blessed. I'm truly blessed to even be in these situations. And none of that happens if number one, you don't apply yourself, right?
of course.
And learn something and be useful. But also, very importantly, it helps to know a lot of people who do really cool stuff.
We're back.
We're back.
We're
Okay,
back. We're back.
awesome.
As you were saying, sorry.
Yeah. No, periodically, like it's a part of the game as well.
Yeah, we had to do a job, bro.
It's a part of the
We had
game
to do
as
a
well.
job at the end of the day. As you saw, people came by. So unfortunately, I had to put a pause on it. Brief pause, but we're back and trying to pick up where we left off.
Yeah, listen. Also, I want to preface something that my goal with this would be to have it be as organic as a conversation as possible. So fortunately, unfortunately, it's not going to be very structured. Like I'm not always going to finish the thought that I left on. I'm not always going to.
Yeah, of course.
Because that's not the goal. Because then you get caught up trying to, be in that moment. When like I'm in this moment now, like
Exactly.
I'm here now.
It's part of the game, like we said.
Yeah.
It's part of the game. But yeah, so he's, as you were saying, he's with Office Cube and Legacy Africa.
Yeah.
Tell me a bit more about like why Legacy Africa, like the name, why you chose to go with that name, and how did the idea come to you, like to do that? You know what I mean?
Legacy. So initially, I'll actually be very honest with this. I love to sit here and pretend that I'm just some genius. And
Aren't we all?
You know what I'm saying? And then I know I just woke up and the sun was shining and I knew.
This was the day.
But in reality, it actually started as I wanted merchandise. I wanted merch. I just wanted a merch line that I could attribute to me because I'm someone who, obviously, I do the content and whatnot. And I knew that I would be camera facing and in roles where I would be on camera and I have to wear something, right?
Yeah.
And rather than perpetuating other people's brands, giving, like free advertising, free eyeballs to that and tying the value that I'm giving to their brands, I was like, okay, what if I created a brand? And obviously you can do the generic thing where you just put your, Sage or whatever on a t-shirt. But I wanted to make something where someone could be proud of the thing independent of whether they know me or not. And so that's where Legacy Africa came from, because my content is focused around business. It's focused around entrepreneurship. It's focused around development of the continent as a whole, right? And I think that entrepreneurship is our key to bettering like the lives of so many people, right?
Yeah.
And so that's kind of the core of my content. And so I wanted that to be the core of the brand as well. And so that's where the name Legacy Africa came from. And now, hop, skip, jump. Now it's developed into something where there's a platform, and we're keeping the core idea, which is entrepreneurship and to connect entrepreneurs. So the idea was I'm going to make a fabric that is literally made from the highest qualities I could possibly source. Like literally from South African made 235 GSM is literally the highest quality stuff that you can source. It's embroidered, it's screen print. Like I went all out in terms of sourcing it.
Sourcing it, yeah.
And I just wanted to make something that people could be proud of. And then in the same vein of that connective tissue, the platform was born because I wanted to make something that was valuable for people. Because I'm coming in at a high price point, not because I'm a bad person, but because
The quality.
it's the quality, and I know what my plans are with the money that comes out of it, which is like, oh, I would love to do things where I'm bringing people together, I'm hosting events, I'm
Yes.
creating a way for people who don't have a way. I'm creating a room for people who don't have a room, you know? Because we talk about now, like we're in the Nelson Mandela Bay Business Chamber.
Yeah.
Do you get what I'm trying to say? Like the guys that you see rolling through here, they're involved with a lot of money. You know, not a lot of people get to sit in places like this. And I was just very lucky and fortunate to literally bumped into the guy who founded Office Cube at a restaurant, and now I'm a partner with Equity Options. Do you get what I'm trying to say? Pure luck. So with Legacy, I want to create more chances for things like that happening, not just on the front of people meeting people that are higher up, but also collaboration. You know what I'm saying? Because I am where I am. Like I said, I have no idea. I don't do tech, bro.
Yeah. That's me.
I don't do tech. I don't do, you know, I'm not a photographer. I'm not a videographer. But these are, for example, skills and things. I don't do design. There's a lot of things that I don't do that a lot of people, we've propped each other up and helped each other out, that allowed me to kind of get in this position with these opportunities that are in front of me. And I want to open those gates a lot more. Like I want to create those rooms for people who can't get into these rooms, so that we can have of our own, you know? That's a brief synopsis. I know I jumped around a little bit, but
no, that's good. I think myself and anybody watching it would understand more or less what you are trying to create, which is something that is missing. I think especially coming from like someone that's an entrepreneur myself, and then also you that's young and an entrepreneur yourself, like being that person that, like, from what I can understand, is like you are a go-getter. You know what I mean? You are somebody that puts themselves out there, puts themselves in uncomfortable positions, which a lot of people, myself included, aren't always keen to do. But I think the uncomfortability breeds that drive, breeds that chance. Like you said, it's by chance. You said it's by luck, by chance. But I'm telling you, I myself has probably been in the room with that guy before, but I never went up to him and spoke. I never had a conversation with him. You know what I mean? So, like, luck brought you to that place where you were, but I think you made that opportunity happen by being somebody that wants to speak, that wants to interact. You know what I mean? So, I wouldn't chalk that up to luck. I would chalk that up to your drive to want to do something. You know what I mean?
For certain, like, you do have to develop yourself. We were talking about this earlier, that you need to have something, have a skill, have a talent that you're leaning towards, have a gift that you're leaning towards. Like, be very, very competent in a field, one specific field. And I think when people, like, the kind of person that turns you into, you know, the kind of person who can adhere to a schedule, who can work without seeing the results of the work for a long time, who can delay gratification. Like, that kind of person that you become, that becomes very valuable to other people. And because you become valuable and useful to other people, that's what actually allows you to get into those rooms, right? And get into those conversations, get those opportunities. It's like, okay, no, I have use for this person. And you'll find, by and large, the people you deal with aren't bad people. They're really good people, and they want to give you an opportunity. You know, they want to put you on, but it's like you have to be there for it as well.
Yeah, I think it's like thinking about it more in depth. And I think, like, even as an entrepreneur yourself, you have to be selfish. Like, if in any connection, in the relationship that you build, I think at the core, an entrepreneur is a selfish person. Because whenever you're meeting someone, or you always try and see, especially if it comes to business side of things. I'm not talking about personal relationships, whatever. I'm not, like, that aside.
Right.
I'm talking about it in a business sense.
Mm-hmm.
The connection that you make with anybody, it's how do you bring value to what I'm doing?
Right.
And
Right.
vice versa.
Right.
How can I bring value to what you're doing?
That part.
You know what I mean?
So for me, and sorry to cut you off.
No, it's all good. It's all
Okay.
good.
So for me, the way, like literally words that I live by is, if you're starting in a room amongst peers, the way that you get elevated is through the peers themselves. And the way you get them to want to elevate you is by being the most useful person in the room.
Mm-hmm.
Meaning you have to be useful to others. So it's the development part is selfish. Like you have to really selfishly dedicate your time to developing your craft. But in terms of the application of it, or when it comes to other people, you have to always approach them with a, what can I do for you? Because when you approach it with, I want to be the most useful person here, what can I do for you? You become irreplaceable.
Okay. Fair.
Do you get that?
Fair.
Like, because who else is going to come through with that attitude, and who else is going to be willing to wait as long as it takes? You know, that's how you create those. That's how you create that loyalty. You create those ties where it's like, okay, you know what? There are other people who maybe can do this thing, but when it hits the fan, that person's probably not going to be there.
Yeah.
And this guy presented from day one that he's here to give. You know what I'm saying? And I think when you give, life will give to you, even if it's not from that relationship in particular. You know what I'm saying? But I don't know. Maybe I'm believing a little bit of fairy dust and Fugazi and stuff like that. But if you put enough energy out into the world, enough positive energy, if you do enough good, some good will come back, or rather the opportunity for good, because you have to capture it, of course.
Will come out of
But
it.
the opportunity of good, meaning you, like, I may not be the guy to put you on, but because I have now put you in a certain environment, you meet someone else who's going to put you on, because you showed up to the environment and you put your best foot forward.
You're kind of rewarded.
Do you get what I'm like? You come through, you put your best foot forward, and then maybe they don't even see me, they don't see you, they see your work.
Yeah.
And they're like, no, man, this guy, there's something about this guy. You get what I'm trying to say?
No, 100%. Like I was, I was always one when I do shoots, when I go out, when I get bookings and those things. I always used to just, whatever's comfortable, throw it on, go out. You know what I mean? And then consuming more content, watching other photographers online, seeing how they do things. I started realizing, yes, this is not a representation of your work, how you dress isn't. But people love when you are, like, you look the part. You know what I mean?
Hold that thought. I love that thought.
Yeah, we'll be there.
Morning, James. How are you? Good. Oh, do you know what I'll do
Here we go.
sometimes?
Yeah, I think we good tapping mic.
Yeah.
We're good.
What I'll do sometimes is I'll literally I'll make one mistake and I'll reshoot the whole thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll be like
I did that also for normally you do like video interviews.
Yeah.
People do like multiple takes. Like for that first take is good and I didn't stutter. Hey, bro, we
good enough for me, bro. We can refine later.
good enough for me.
Yeah.
But as I was saying,
yeah, you were saying, man, how the appearance.
Yeah, I was touching on that, like how you appear to people's, like what makes you stand out. And also I think what opens a lot of doors. I go into the mentality of, if I do a function, if I do any sort of, like, if I can call it content, or my job is called my I always go like, my next client is in this room. You know what I mean? Like, I'm going in here, I secured the one I'm busy with now, but my next one is here.
So I need to present myself.
You understand what I mean? So if you walk in and that's your mentality, it's like, bro, doors will open for you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You just have to look the part, and who doesn't love or like seeing someone dress up?
Like proper.
Proper, you know what I mean? I saw a clip of another photographer, and he said, like, people pay so much money, especially in our field, they pay so much money to book a photographer, right? And this is how I started kind of planning. I was already planning it before, but it like reinforced it. Is that like, nobody wants to pay this guy a lot of money for him to dress and stand out like a sota. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You're not meeting them anymore. Imagine you're going to a wedding, for example, and you're showing up in the jeans or with track pants. You don't look the part.
Yeah. You're kind of
You know what I
bringing
mean?
like your...
Now you're standing out like for the wrong reasons,
Right.
basically. So that's kind of the philosophy that I've been following for a while. Is dressing the part. Now, don't get me wrong, you will still see me dressed up in a dressed down in a jean or whatever. If it's just a 30-minute session and I'm just shooting you now,
Right.
I don't feel like I need to be dressed up and fully. You know what I mean? Because there's no one else.
That's also excessive.
Exactly. It's like now I'm doing too much now.
I'm doing too much.
I'm doing the.
I'm overcompensating.
Like I'm trying to dress like someone's taking photos of. No, you know what I mean? Like. That's not a trade-off, but that's, I don't know what your thoughts on that. That is just what I think works.
For sure. Like especially when you say, like on the looking the part, I think it's very, very important to look the part. Like even now, bro, you can see me with my Blescop. You know what I'm saying? Like last year I had hair. I had the longest hair you'll ever see in your life. Like literally, if you pull the strand of my hair, you could put it down to like beyond my face. And I have like black hair, so that's long. You know?
Yeah.
I hadn't cut my hair in literally years. And then I made a decision at some point that so the mentality before was, listen, the work will speak for me. I don't need to show up, a certain way.
Yeah, of course.
I'm working on my craft and I'm developing my craft. Whatever you think about me is neither here nor there. Do you get what I'm trying to say?
Yeah, of course.
And then stepping into this year, I really feel that, I don't know, maybe I just knew, maybe it was something in the air where I felt that, listen, I'm really going for it. I'm really doing it to a different level, and I'm going on, sorry to put it this way, but realistically, a generational run is what I'm going for.
Yeah.
And so...
Don't apologize, bro. Don't apologize.
No, because people, it's you have to play the balancing act, right?
You're apologizing for wanting to be great. Couldn't be me.
It's not necessarily for wanting to be great, but like, I'm sorry for making you feel bad, because that's what happens to people sometimes. Like literally, me and someone very close to me were having a conversation not too long ago, and I mentioned, like, I said, thank you for staying around. Thank you for lasting. And the reason for that is people don't last long around people like me. Not because I am like a bad person or I'm bad to be around or whatever the case, but I hold such a standard to myself that if you're not going to hold that standard to yourself, you're going to start feeling like my work ethic is an insult to yours.
I get what you're saying.
You know what I'm saying?
I get what you're saying.
Like you're going to feel like every time, like, I get up and I can't miss the gym. I have to go to the gym today. I hope
that rubs off on me, bro. But right now,
yeah.
That's a comment for another day, nonetheless.
Hey, listen, it comes and it goes sometimes.
Yes.
But that's why I try to keep it, because if you once it starts slipping, it's
slippery slope.
Slippery slope. But. So yes, like, I want to be on the money in terms of that. Okay, I want to be on the money in terms of I'm not missing an upload. I'm not missing I'm not missing a meeting. Last week, the meetings that literally could change the whole trajectory of Legacy happened on Friday. The entire day, I was violently ill. The entire day, violently ill. Terrible nausea. I'm having stomach aches. I literally could barely function. And yet I walked in those rooms, you put a smile on, you shake hands, and you make things happen. Do you get what I'm trying to say? And like,
you always show up.
And literally one yes from any of those people could change the longevity of this whole thing. Do you get what I'm trying to say? And you do it under any circumstance.
Yeah.
So when you're that type of person and you put that type of pressure on yourself, then the people around you start to feel the pressure. because they'll see when you're down and you're still going.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? When you don't have a way and you make a way.
And you just, nothing is holding you back. You like just constantly.
And they see it as a
at it.
reflection poorly sometimes on them in terms of, okay, two things happen. It's either you start internalizing it and say to yourself, you know what, maybe I could actually show up better on this way, and that way.
Yeah.
Now, not that you always win, but you always go for it, really. Or what happens is they start pushing, because they start thinking like, who the hell does this guy think he is? You know what I'm saying? So that's what I'm apologizing for. So
I get it.
What did Jay-Z say? Jay-Z said in God Did, he said, my goal is to make a real one feel seen. Sometimes I make a fake one hate life, but that's never my intention. Those are the consequences of my way of life. That's how I feel about it. It's never my intention to make you feel small, bro.
Yes.
I don't want to invalidate your dream. I don't want to invalidate whatever you got going on, but I'm going to big me up and I'm going to go for what I want. You know what I'm saying?
Nah, 100%.
So, yeah, and anyway, yeah, when you're that type of person, you're going for those types of things, you certainly have to look the part. Otherwise, you don't get the look. You know, you don't get because people know that it takes effort. Like,
it does.
People understand your craft and you're good at that, but they know that, you know what, this person actually went an extra mile in terms of they maybe ironed this out the previous day. They prepared. Yo, that's a big one. Can I touch on that?
Yeah. Go ahead, bro.
Preparation.
Yeah, it is nothing like the way you feel of being unprepared is enough to speak on how important preparation
being prepared is, bro. Like, obviously there's so many adages, like proper preparation prevents poor performance. There's like if you
fail, like the failing to prepare is preparing to fail. Same.
Like there's a lot of those things, and they're out there for a reason, right? Because I don't know what it's like, and I don't know how to describe to people what it's like to actually show up in a moment prepared, and then the moment comes. You know what I'm saying? Like the moment comes for your preparation to shine. The moment comes for you to do your rounds and you just fly.
It's you like I know exactly what you're talking about, because it's like I did a video where I spoke about like how I feel on shoots, like before shoots and day before big days, like weddings, functions, birthdays. And I spoke about like no matter how much you prepare, you will always, or I always feel anxious.
Oh yeah. Can I actually butt in on this point? Sorry to cut you off.
No, it's all good, man.
So for me, even moments like that are like things that we're used to that someone else would probably panic over. Like, yo, but no, what if? And for me, it's always been like, if ever I've shot something with someone and maybe like you shoot the thing we finish, it's like, yo, bro, there's no audio. We're gonna have to shoot it again. Like the goal for me, like I'd mentioned briefly before, it's not necessarily to recapture that previous moment, but it's like we're in another moment now, bro.
Yeah.
Like there's always more magic.
There's always, but you know the funny thing about even us having this conversation and like how it got off is that even when we were done speaking, we can still continue speaking.
Yeah.
Like even this conversation now, like it's what benefits us the most about like just chopping it up.
Right.
Like, we're just talking.
Yeah.
That's all it is. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's no structure to the conversation, although we are touching on key points, which is what I enjoy. Enjoy a lot, and yeah, man.
Yeah, no, the main takeaways that I touched on there in the end, if I can recall them now. Number one, it was that not trying is failing.
Yes.
Which is, I think, very important to realize that some people think that just because they don't try, they can't fail. But it's like, nah, bro, you didn't tap into what was into you. You didn't tap into what you were gifted with.
Yeah.
That's a failure within itself, you know? So try. And also realize that done beats perfect every time.
Always.
You know, done beats perfect every time. So
Always.
This is done, right? This eventually, we'll put it together, we distribute it, whatever the case, and it's out there.
It's out.
Is it perfect? Maybe not.
But
Is it done? 100%.
But even from us doing this is like, oh, I learned something.
Exactly.
I took something away from it.
Exactly.
And what you were also talking about, or what we touched base on, was it done beats perfect every time.
Mm-hmm.
It's starting somewhere. Just start anywhere. The point you made was...
You said something crazy, bro.
Yeah, I did, bro.
Something crazy. Something crazy.
Damn, bro.
Something crazy this guy said was...
I see.
We have, like, you have, and you literally, you skimmed over this, but like one of my things, well, like one of my gifts or talents is I typically will find those key phrases and they'll just stick out to me and they'll speak to me. And what you said was, you have everything that you need. Like, you have everything you need. And that speaks to me because it's like, you've been given everything that you need to move forward. So you have no business backpedaling.
Yeah.
You have no business questioning yourself. You have no business, because at the end of the day, we're not where we are because we have an abundance of resources. We are where we are because we are resourceful.
Yeah, basically. And I think I said it along the lines of, you have everything that you could need. It's just starting where you're at. Just starting where you're at. And yes, just because you have, let's say, how can I put it? The way, maybe like you're using the pancake. If I use the pancake thing as an example, it's like, you have the first 2-3 pancakes that doesn't come out the way they're meant to come out.
They're like, at all.
They don't work. Like, and third, fourth, fifth, the pancakes are just amazing. They just, from that point on, it just turns out amazing. And example that I made, or the point that I made, is that it's the same batter that you were using the entire time. But the way that you went about it further in is what made it what it is.
And the learnings from that first
first 3 makes the biggest difference.
So that's actually so underrated, because people don't realize you need to go through that first 2.
You need to go through that first 2.
You have to. That's what informs the way you approach the 4th, the 5th, and beyond. Is the learnings that you take from that initial. So, like the most important thing is to start. I think we did touch on like a few key points. We touched on preparation, and we really agree that preparation is everything.
Yeah.
But in order to get the position from which to make decisions and begin to prepare, you have to start to begin.
Yeah, perfect. No, but I lost my train of thought now. Sorry. I was in the conversation here on the side.
Yeah.
But yeah, like, it's always going to be important to be prepared. And with preparation, more opportunities come along.
100%.
Because you can be prepared for this opportunity, but in you preparing for that opportunity, you also became aware of possibilities where this could lead.
Right.
So you always know that this might happen. At the back of your mind, even though it wasn't the goal, you know it's a spin-off from what you initially wanted.
100%.
And that helps you to be aware of, okay, I need to do this. Oh, this happened. Yeah, but I thought this was going to happen. So now you're not caught totally off guard. You have
100%.
some sort of fallback to go.
100%.
Okay, I remember when this happened, do this. You know what I mean? So I think that's an important thing to note with being an entrepreneur, being somebody that started their own business. And then I don't know if it was in this clip or the next clip. If it was, we spoke about, I think it was connections. You know what I mean? Connecting with people. I think it was in the last clip. And that's like also a key point, since we're rounding off this video.
Yeah.
That's like also a key point.
For sure.
To take note of, you know what I mean?
To become is very important. And then after you are, you must take whatever you are and apply it to others. You must be as useful as possible with the skill you have to other people. And that's what gets you elevated. Like we do talk about being selfish with your time, selfish with sometimes resources. Sometimes you're selfish with, in those various ways. But in terms of your gift, Like that gift is like you're the vessel, man. That it's not yours to keep.
Yes, it's not, bro.
You know what I'm saying?
So
It's not yours to keep. So
just use it.
and be as generous as possible with that gift. And within that generosity, within the expression of that gift, within those opportunities that come about as a result, magic.
Magic. But I think there's another group coming through now anyway.
Yeah,
So we might as well
time, man.
we might as well wrap it up.
Yeah.
Thank you guys so much for watching. This has been an absolute pleasure having you with me.
Thank you for having me, brother.
Thank you,
I
man.
appreciate you, man.
Appreciate you.
Appreciate the
And,
conversation.
yeah, until the next one, guys. People, we out.